Hello and welcome to another episode of the Less Matters podcast. This is part of our Less Trainers interview series, and I am honoured to have my friend Karim Harbott here, one of the longest standing Less Trainers. I think you were Less Trainer before I was, I think. So yeah, you've been in the Less game for a little while, and it's brilliant to have you here to answer some of the questions that I've been posing to hopefully all of the Less Trainers over the course of the next few months. So, Karim, thank you for being here.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me on. It's 2015. I think I became a trainer, so about seven years ago now, and I think I've known you for even longer. So it's great to be on your show. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, Karim. Well, look, for those of you who are listening who don't know Karim, I thought I'd hand over to you, Karim, and you can tell the world a little bit about yourself, if that's okay.
Yeah. Well, yep. Hi, I'm Karim, and sort of just a quick overview, really, of my journey. I guess would be I'm a mathematician turned software engineer. So I'm a card-carrying nerd, and I love all that stuff. And I mean, my years as a software engineer were, I look back incredibly fondly. I loved that. It was like, and sometimes when I look back, I think that maybe that was my favorite job I've ever had, and I maybe wish I hadn't have moved away from it. But I did move away from it into project management, this traditional project management, the waterfall project management king. I was that guy for a long time, but incredibly frustrated at the fact that it didn't work very well in the software context, and maybe just thought I needed to learn more project management stuff and then apply that, and then it would work, and it didn't. And so I had a few years of incredible frustration there until somebody asked me to go and be a Scrum Master, probably about 2008-ish at this point. And I had no idea what that was. But I thought, well, I'll do that because this is not great. So I spent a number of years as a Scrum Master, and I just felt like I found my passion. Everything that just wasn't making sense about the traditional software development approach in project management started to make sense when I started working with Scrum teams, who, by the way, had no more of a clue what Scrum was than I did as the Scrum Master. So we basically worked it out. But so the idea of creating working software in 2 weeks just blew my mind. Admittedly, it was only log in and log out that we built, but it was 2 weeks and it worked. And this blew. I'd worked on 18-month stuff before, so this was my passion. I spent a number of years as a Scrum Master working with teams. More recently, I've become frustrated at the lack of impact you can have at the team level, and all of the impediments that we found were beyond the team level. So I guess from about 2014, 15, my focus has been on the organization, the cultures, the structures. And now for me, I talk about business agility coaching, on innovation, how we create the environment for all this cool agile and Scrum stuff to work. So that's been my progression over the years, and I've gone from really loving focusing on teams to really focusing on how do we create really great products and set up the environment for teams to do that. So who knows what my next iteration of my career will be, but I'm happy where I am right now.
I must say, I would like to add that you are a published author now as well, which is something to be proud of.
Yes, I had a rush of blood to the head a couple of years back when I was approached to write a book, and decided I would submit a proposal to do that, and then found myself having to write said book, and it was actually an incredibly difficult but wonderfully rewarding process. It's one of those things like running a marathon. Like, you're really glad you did it, but I'm not sure I'm sort of really wanting to do it again for a while. So the 6 enablers of business agility came out in June last year. I'm really proud of it, and we can talk a little bit about what's in there later. But yes, that was definitely a 2021 highlight for me, getting that one published, and we're really pleased that I was able to put some of that knowledge back into a form that people can go and grab and digest.
I think the agile literature world is richer for your contribution. Thank you, Karim. And I'd love to spend some time towards the end, perhaps talking about it, because I say it's a book that aligns well to large-scale Scrum, and large-scale Scrum huge as well. So let's dedicate some time to that towards the end.